Hey everyone, and welcome! Today, we are diving into a topic that's growing up almost as fast as our kids are: artificial intelligence and early childhood education. The promise here is a total revolution in learning, but, it also brings up some really serious questions. So, let's explore what this future could actually look like. Just think about that for a second. An infinitely patient, tireless teacher, there for your child 24/7, who knows exactly how they learn best. I mean, that's the dream, right? But is that a future we're actually ready for? That is the core question we're going to unpack today. So, first up, let's talk about the incredible promise here. We're focusing on those crucial years from birth to age 6. I mean, this is when their brains are just exploding with growth. And it's exactly this critical window that has totally captured the attention of AI developers.
Okay, so the key idea here, the big promise, is one word: personalization. This is not about just swapping a coloring book for a tablet. We're talking about creating a learning journey that adapts in real time to your child's specific pace, whether they're zooming ahead or just need a little more time to get something. The whole goal is to give them this incredible foundation for a lifetime of learning.
And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi future. This stuff is happening right now. We're already seeing smart toys that engage kids in play that's tailored just for them. We've got platforms that change the difficulty of a math problem based on your kid's last answer. There are even tools that can help spot developmental needs way earlier than we could before. And think about this. AI can help children with autism practice social cues or give a huge boost to kids learning a new language. The potential is it's enormous.
Okay, so the potential is massive. But, and this is a big but, as these AI systems get more and more common, a really serious concern has popped up, one that's written right into their code. We're talking about algorithmic bias. Here's the thing you have to understand. AI isn't born neutral. It doesn't have its own opinions. It learns directly from the data we feed it. So, when that data is full of our own societal blind spots and inequalities, well, the AI learns them too. It's kind of like a mirror, and sometimes it reflects the worst parts of us. This bias can creep in from a few key places. First, you've got data bias. If you train an AI on information that's already skewed, it's going to learn those skewed ideas. Then there's design bias. This happens when a developer's own choices, maybe in the design of an avatar or the voice they choose, unintentionally favor one group over another. And finally, there's usage bias, where a tool that works perfectly in one community might completely fail in another. Just put yourself in a little kid's shoes for a second. Imagine the smart toy you're playing with doesn't recognize your accent, or it doesn't get your cultural references. It sends this quiet message, right? That you're different, that you don't quite fit. And this isn't just about hurt feelings. This creates real barriers to learning and can end up reinforcing the very disadvantages we hope technology will help us break.
But bias isn't the only risk on the table. There's another danger, a more subtle one, that we really need to think about. As we lean more and more on these incredibly powerful tools, are we at risk of weakening our own minds? Could AI become a kind of cognitive crutch?
Researchers have actually given this a name: AI-induced cognitive atrophy, or AICIK for short. You know that old saying, use it or lose it? Well, that applies to our brains too. The idea is that if we're constantly handing off the heavy lifting, the problem solving, the critical thinking, to an AI, those mental muscles, just like any other muscle, could start to get, flabby.
To really get a feel for how this could play out, let's talk about Hannah. Now, this is a hypothetical story from the research, but it feels very, very real. And while she's a college student, you can easily see how this could apply to a younger kid too. So she gets this super advanced AI chatbot to help her with her essays. At first, it's amazing. It's like a super-powered research assistant, helping her find sources, organize her thoughts, that kind of thing.
But then, something starts to change. It's a small thing at first. Instead of asking the AI for facts so she can build her own arguments, she just starts asking it for the arguments themselves. And the result? Hannah's own ability to think critically, to connect the dots, to question sources, to come up with her own original ideas, it just starts to fade. The AI is doing all the work, so her brain doesn't have to anymore.
And Hannah's story really brings these risks to life, right? You can see it all laid out here. We're talking about a drop in critical thinking and problem solving. Our memory skills can get weaker. Our attention spans can get shorter because we're used to instant answers. And maybe most critically, we can lose the ability to take what we know and apply it to a new problem without the AI holding our hand.
Okay, so that sounds a bit grim, right? We've got hidden bias, we've got this risk of a cognitive crutch, but the story absolutely does not end there. we can fix this. So let's talk about solutions, starting with how we can build fairer, smarter AI right from the very beginning.
Researchers have a really clear three-step plan. Step 1, use diverse data. I mean, it's common sense, right? An AI can only be as unbiased as the info it's learning from. Second, practice inclusive design. This means actually bringing parents, teachers, and kids from all backgrounds into the development process before the product is finished. And finally, number 3, this is not a set-it-and-forget-it kind of deal. These tools need constant checkups to find and fix biases as they pop up.
But really, none of this works without two absolutely critical ingredients: transparency and accountability. We can't just trust a black box, especially when it comes to our kids. Developers have to be open about how their AI works, and we need smart regulations in place to make sure these tools are actually helping, not harming.
But here's the thing. Tech companies and governments can't solve this alone. The final and honestly the most important piece of this whole puzzle, it isn't the developers or the policymakers, it's us. It's the human in the loop. The parents, the teachers, the caregivers.
So what can we actually do? Well, here's our game plan. We have to be the ones pushing for strong ethical rules and data privacy. We got to make sure our teachers get the training they need to really evaluate these tools, not just accept them blindly. We need to build a bridge between families and the tech folks creating these things. But maybe the most important thing of all is to remember the goal here. AI is a tool, a powerful one for sure, but it's there to assist a human teacher, never to replace one.
So that brings us back to the big question, the one we started with. How do we make sure we're using this incredible technology as a tool that builds minds and not a crutch that lets them get weak? That is the conversation we all need to be having. Thanks for digging into this with me today.